We have a real problem in the Denver housing market right now, and I'm not talking about single family homes. I'm talking about attached dwellings and more specifically condos. It's a problem that keeps getting worse, and we need to talk about it. So, if you're in the market to buy a condo or you're a condo owner, you're going to want to listen to this so you know what's going on in the market right now. So, let's talk about the four issues that are causing this condo nightmare across the Denver metro area. Let's start with the insurance nightmare. So the HOA master insurance policy for the Condos Association across Colorado have surged between 100 and 400% in recent years due to hailstorms, wildfire risks, and other natural disasters. So to cover these insurance spikes, HOAs are doubling or sometimes tripling your HOA fee, sometimes virtually overnight. So imagine that you're on a budget or a fixed income, and now you have to come up with an extra $300+ a month that you weren't accounting for. This is causing an absolute nightmare. So, just to put this in perspective, if your HOA goes up $300 a month, it erodes 45,000 between 45,000 and $50,000 in buyer purchasing power. So you really have to put that in context for resale value of that condo. It is something that affects people's decision on whether they should buy your condo or not, or even their ability to buy your condo or not. So the second issue affecting these condos is lending roadblocks, sometimes blacklisting of entire condo associations. The reason for that is to save money on insurance premiums. Many HOAs have raised their deductibles above 5% or skipped funding their reserve accounts. This is a major red flag for lenders in conventional and FHA lending requirements. If an HOA lacks a 10% reserve budget or has high insurance deductibles, lenders many times won't approve their mortgages. So imagine that also all of a sudden your condo association or your condo complex is now unlendable. You have now limited your condo complex to cash buyers only. How many people out there have a stack of cash and are wanting to buy your condo compared to everybody else's? Here's the other problem with that is once people get wind that that's happening and people start to see the house of cards fall, what do you think happens? What happens is all these sellers freak out and they flood the market with inventory. And we all know what happens when the market gets flooded with inventory. So if you go to 20 units, they're now for sale, it's a race to the bottom. People are fleeing as fast as possible to get out before they can't sell, period. So the third issue I'm seeing facing the condo market in the Denver metro area is the competition from apartment complexes. Apartments are now offering sometimes 1 to 2 months of free rent, offering a ton of amenities and getting people in through those incentives. Now, think about it from a buyer's perspective. In many cases, if they rent that apartment, they don't have the risk factor of the HOA. And in many cases, once the HOA fees have gone up on the condos, it's much cheaper to rent the apartment risk free than it is to purchase the condo and wonder if you're ever going to get screwed over by the HOA association or rising costs in the insurance. The fourth issue facing condos is deferred maintenance and special assessments being applied. What that means is we have a lot of aging condo developments that were built in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that are reaching critical replacement milestones for roofs, balconies, elevators, siding, you name it. What happens is if those reserves are underfunded, which means basically the condo association hasn't collected enough and doesn't have enough in their reserve account to fix these issues, they have to slap on a special assessment. Sometimes these can be massive assessments that you weren't accounting for in your monthly bills. This also starts to force distressed sales. And we've covered this already, but when you start to see issues like this creep, people are not stupid, they pay attention. So when you start hearing this, more people have probably already heard about it as well. And you start to see a massive influx of sellers wanting to get the hell out of these complexes before it's too late. So again, you're facing a massive amount of inventory flooding the market, which drives down price, and everybody's in a race to get out before it's a catastrophe. So, for all my condo owners out there, have you seen your HOA fees jump this year or recently? And if so, how much have you seen them jump? I'm curious to know. Also, if you're in the market to purchase a condo or you currently own a condo and you have any questions, I'm a licensed real estate agent and mortgage broker. So, I've seen all kinds of issues and signs to look for with these condos. I've done these scenarios a million times and I have the experience to do the due diligence to make sure that you're not in a bad situation. As always, feel free to reach out and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.